Good afternoon. My name is Patrick Dukeshire, and I will be discussing an RFID bar system. So, what is the problem we are looking to solve? Have you ever been to a bar or a club on a Saturday night? It's ridiculous. There's people everywhere. You can barely get a server's attention, let alone the bartender's attention. Same thing with a crowded club. A lot of times they'll have a limited bar staff, so you'll be standing there at the bar with your money in hand, and there's just a line of people ahead of you, and you just can't get a drink. It takes forever. Same thing with the bar and the club. You can't get a drink on a busy night. And a lot of times you can see that tap there, and you think to yourself, I could just go pour it myself. But you can't, because it's obviously behind the bar. This also would revitalize lower alcohol sales at bars that aren't attracting a younger crowd, the current drinking crowd. Those are the problems we're looking to solve with this technology. So, what is the technology exactly? It is a self-serve bar system that uses RFID technology, or NFC, near-field communication, or chips that have a unique identifier to dispense simple drinks like beers, maybe margaritas, things that are pre-mixed. It also allows for smart tab calculations, allowing you to either give out pours that are, let's say, 12 ounces, or you can charge by the ounce and let for a continuous pour until it stops. This also allows for smart resource management, allowing you to keep track of what's in your keg and keep track of it up to a 1 to 2% error margin. This lets you know when you need to order new kegs, get them refilled, or even try and swap out for new drinks. Also, it provides a novelty to your bar or establishment. This will bring in a crowd who wants to try out this new technology that they haven't seen before. Now, how does this solve the problem? It allows your customers to pour simple drinks such as beers, margaritas, and pre-mixed beverages. It also encourages the customer to drink more as they don't have sort of the guilt of ordering more and more from a server. Um, it allows for accurate keg management, as I said before, with a 1 to 2% error ratio. And it does not require bar staff for these simple drinks, allowing you to have them focus on more complicated drinks, more food orders. It allows your bar to run more efficiently when you take out the equation of having to pour the same beers over and over again. It also revitalizes sales by adding that technology novelty to the experience. So you do have different options when it comes to this, and it really boils down to the scaling. KegBot is meant for smaller scale, up to about 10 to 20 kegs would be the highest that it could go. It does require a small amount of hardware. It can be added to existing bar systems. Again, there's very limited hardware needed. And that link there is where I would put the video. It takes maybe 3 minutes, 3.5. So yeah. Your next option would be like, there are a lot of companies that do this option. There's a lot of companies that do this same thing. One of them is called Pour My Beer. There's also like I Pour It, and there's a couple other ones. It requires professional installation and maintenance, as it is a whole experience. Has the displays built into your wall. It has taps coming out in a large line. It requires a large amount of hardware, basically an entire remodel. It does have a long installation time and a high installation cost, as well as a high maintenance cost. So this option would be great if you're looking to remodel your bar anyway and you want to maybe add a new technological flair. Again, that's the video introducing the technology. That one takes maybe about 1.5 minutes. So is this original? No. Other companies have used this tech. As much as I'd like to think that it came to me in a brilliant brainstorm, it did not. There are several companies like KegBot, Pour My Beer, and I Pour It. I'm sure many people have had this idea. So who are we marketing toward? When it comes to customers, we're definitely marketing toward millennials and tech-savvy individuals. They're the ones who are going to want to see a smart bar. The connected home, the integrated home is a big thing now with the Internet of Things. You have smart refrigerators. Everything is smart, even your vacuum cleaners with Roombas. And the market is growing for those types of appliances. And with that, we believe that the market could grow for this type of experience outside the home, especially in a bar or a casual setting. When it comes to bar owners, we're definitely looking at people with falling sales. Bar owners that maybe like they've noticed a downward trend lately, or they're looking to revitalize and rejuvenate their bar, or they're looking to bring in a new crowd, a younger crowd, a hipper crowd. And how will this change the process of the bar? To be honest, it won't change process too much. If we're looking at the small scale integration, which is the preferred option, the KegBot, it's a similar tab system to what is already in place. In fact, you could still use your current tab system. You would just have to punch in the amount of drinks and the amount of and what they actually drank. And thankfully, with KegBot and iPourIt, all of those have different identifiers for how much they drank, and they have different identifiers, like they'll give a readout for how much they drank, and they have different identifiers for different kegs that you install. And especially with KegBot, this comes out in a nice user interface that a waitress can then punch into your existing bar tab system. This allows for an easy integration as they just have to learn how to scan the person's RFID tag, which they get when they open a tab, and they have to just basically click on the dashboard and see what they've drank and how much they drank, and they can punch that into any existing POS system, really. So what's the cost, really? What is the cost of this newfangled smart bar? And that again boils down to the integration size and what you want to do for scale. When it comes to small scale, which would be the KegBot, again, the option I recommend, it requires at least one Android tablet. One Android tablet can be used for up to two kegs. And those can go anywhere between 150 to 300. You can go all the way up with those, really. But I'd recommend a good mid-range tablet around $200. It requires the reader board per keg. So this is the highest cost. Per keg, it's 150. This this allows for there's no real installation onto the keg. It reads off of already existing things on the keg and it feeds it back to the tablet. And then of course it requires RFID cards, which are about 20 cents a piece. But when you think about the turnaround you're going to have when this new crowd comes in, that 20 cents per card is easily made up. It also has open source software. KegBot is open source. It's meant for both in-home as well as in business use. There is a large forum, a very active forum of members who will talk about new projects, will tweak the code, allow for different things to be added on, as well as there's a lot of resources for troubleshooting through their active forum. When it comes to the large scale, I reached out to the companies like iPourIt and the other ones like that, and um, I asked for information like how much is it to install, how much is it to maintain, how much is it to just license it out, and unfortunately none of them got back to me. So I'm estimating that this would need to be thousands of dollars worth of work. You're going to be putting kegs in your walls. It takes up the entire wall. You have RFID cards. You need new kegs because they have different sensors. They have different. They all have different pour spouts that need to be installed into your wall, and there's a very high maintenance cost with those. I'm sure because it's very specialized licensed software as well as probably licensed hardware as well, seeing as how there needs to be an Android tablet at least for every single keg, and there needs to be licensed out software from their companies. All of these large scale companies really work on the same business model. So how much does it cost to? Well, how much does it? How long does it take to install, and what's the training time? For the small scale for the KegBot, it takes about a day or two for installation and troubleshooting. Verify your software works, install it, it's open source, it installs on an Android tablet. And you can even install it onto a laptop if you'd like to, so you have a more in-depth database. This is, again, provided by KegBot. It's open source. It's already available on their website to download. Training can take a few hours. Just go through your servers, show them how to get to the dashboard and punch in a person's tab through that, into your normal POS. Large scale, installation time. Again, I reached out for questions about this. They didn't answer me. I'm going to assume that it takes weeks because you have to come do basically a complete remodel. And training, I'm assuming it takes a few hours. It's just a new POS system, really. Is it scalable? On a small scale to KegBot, I'd say 1 to 20 kegs would probably be a cost-effective option. Obviously, you want to start small scale, maybe 2 to 10, and then if it gets really popular, you can upscale that to 20. Again, at that range, though, you'd probably want to hire a person for in-house, basically IT work with them. On the large scale, it's only limited by your physical size, as all the installation, all of the maintenance, everything is handled by this third-party company. These are my references. At the bottom, there will be a YouTube link. I'm just making the video right now, so yeah. Thank you.